I'm Joe Reel.
And I'm Peter Gill.
And this is Two Men Talking Movies.
Say what again? Say what again?
I'm sorry, David. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Get off my plane. Here's Johnny. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Good day, sir.
You ever dance with the devil in the pit? I am your father.
Beats. We can kill it.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Two men talking
Movies.
All right, so welcome to another episode of Two Men Talking Movies. I'm one of your hosts, Joe Reel.
Oh, sorry. I'm your other host, Peter Gill.
And this is episode 9, right? Right, Peter?
9.
9.
9.
It means no in German, right?
Yes, so. I have a client who's German. He's very interesting. He's one of the nicest guys. I love him to death. He's great. He's a good client. But he's very German.
You said he's very German?
Very German. He's from Germany. He's a German citizen.
Cool.
Anyway, it's pretty interesting.
Does he listen to the show?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I was going to make a joke, but I thought it might have been inappropriate if he listened to the show.
Yeah.
So
He's a nice guy, so I wouldn't appreciate that either.
So what is new this week? Anything going on? Anything in the life of Simon Peter Gill?
Whoa, throw my real name out there, huh?
Yeah.
Nothing much. My wife's getting ready to go back to school. Work is busy, crazy.
Your wife's a teacher, correct?
Yeah. She teaches at a private school.
High school or elementary? I forgot which
High
one.
school.
High school.
How could you forget? She's told you numerous times.
Anytime your wife talks, I kind of just shut down and
You are a
just
jerk.
look and smile and shake my head
Yeah, you do.
and say, "Oh, okay."
You're not joking.
No, I don't do that.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You're not joking.
I know. I listen
She
to
knows
Stephanie.
it.
I listen to Stephanie.
That's why she doesn't really like talking with you, because you
Oh.
never remember.
That makes sense.
If you don't know that she was a high school English teacher, I don't really know
You don't know what.
what to say. Like, how do you not know that? I know
No,
your wife, what she does.
I was more so playing devil's advocate because I wanted you to tell the listeners.
Oh, got it. Okay,
I wanted
nice
you to tell
save.
the listeners
Nice
because I
save.
knew,
Yeah, I bet you
but I
did.
wanted you to talk about it. So
Oh, okay, nice.
it's doing the old bait and switch.
That's not a bait and switch at all. Do you know what a bait and switch is? It's where you try to sell something, and then by the end of the process, you're selling them something totally different that they didn't originally want. It's illegal. So
The old a bird in the hand makes one, but two in the bush. Gotcha.
I think you're just saying things now. I
Gotcha.
think you're
Got
just
that.
oh, Michael Scott tangent for you. What about you? What you up to? Film school still going strong?
Film school still going strong. I'm learning how to cut and edit video, which is a new frontier for me. Messed around
Yeah.
with iMovie a little bit, so hopefully when we start filming the show, I'll be able to really get that stuff done fast.
Okay.
Yeah, coming up with some great stories.
When are we projecting for our listeners? When are we projecting film? When are we going to do that?
When? I would say maybe about 2 or 3 episodes from now.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was
I
thinking.
think so. And eventually we want to do live streaming. I don't know how we're going to do that.
Well, you get a mobile device, you hook it up to Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and then you press play.
But you want good audio, so we'd have to run audio into that. But then there's also some people use like special like broadband streaming devices that you run your video through, so it goes through HD and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it out as we go.
Yeah, we've got some meetings.
Yeah.
The direction
Do
of
it
Two
from the
Men
old
Talking.
School of Hard Knocks. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been working on the website. That's
Yes, you
coming
have.
soon.
6 months later, yeah, it's coming out.
Okay. I've really started working on
It
it
only
the
took
past
me
2 weeks.
since the beginning of this show to get you to make a website, and now it's out. Good job.
No. Okay. Well, I've needed a few things from you. It hasn't really been high on our priority list.
Oh, so I've held you up for these last 6 months. My
No.
bad. My bad.
No. It's been mostly me. It's getting up the ambition to take on something like a website.
You're not a very ambitious person, are you?
I have a lot of things pulling me in different directions, and so I was
Busy
waiting.
guy.
Yeah, kind of. Between church, work, Two Men Talking Movies, and a social life, It doesn't leave much time for other things. So
That's good though. You are learning website building, right?
yeah,
That's a good thing to have,
yeah.
especially for the
creating
future,
something that's not tangible.
Yeah, creating. You can go. If this fails, you can be a website site
This is
designer.
not going to fail.
So,
Why do you even say something like that? No, I am diving into it, and a buddy of mine's helping me out. Give a shout out to my boy Andy Pisano Creative. And he's helped me out a little bit, point me in the right directions. Watched a ton of YouTube videos on designing, because I appreciate good design. When I go onto a website and it's nothing but ads or horrible, poor layout, I hate it. And so I want something that's appealing to the eyes, functional, and different. So creating all that, but your skill level's like a 1 is really tough to do.
yeah.
So it's like wanting to paint a beautiful picture, but
But
not
you're
even
still
being
at paint,
able to.
You're still at paint, but by numbers.
Right. I can barely draw Pokemon.
Yeah. So.
That's kind of what I'm working with here. Fortunately, there's a lot of tools out there that kind of do a lot of it for you. So
Yeah, that's good.
just finding the right tools and paying for
That's
the right
good.
tools.
As far as my website design skills go, it was back in the days of MySpace. I was good at copying them layout links and pasting them in my profile.
Did you ever get in trouble for your MySpace having bad music or bad pictures or
No.
anything like that? Oh.
I would always put like some kind of metal song.
Yeah, mine
Show
was
how
like,
hard I was.
yeah, I would do the same thing. Would be Fall Out Boy.
Really?
Yeah, I thought Fall Out Boy was like the bees.
Yeah, they went real hard.
Yeah. Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna head right into. I always do that. Now we're gonna head into trailer trash. I always have to introduce it a little bit differently. I'm still waiting on the trailer
Are you
trash
still
music.
waiting for that one good time where you introduce it and you're like, yeah, I'm going to keep it like that?
Yeah, I'm just trying a bunch of different things. We're only on episode 9, so about 100 more to go
No,
before I figure it out.
we're going to hit the double digits next. That's pretty scary.
Big timing.
Yeah. It's like our young youth. We're babies right now, but we're about to hit that elementary age.
Puberty.
Yeah.
So
On from the double digits will be the triple digits, which is like teenage years.
really,
Yeah.
okay. Well, whatever you say. You've got this thing all figured out.
Oh, yeah.
So first up, we got a movie called Mascots.
Mascotting is not unlike a marriage in that it's about cooperation. It's about listening.
Yep.
Even if people are screaming at you, you're not allowed to talk, and that's a good lesson for a marriage.
Yeah.
You know.
This one looks pretty funny, I think. What do you think?
It has a lot of my humor in it.
What?
It has a lot of my humor in it. Like
Your humor?
Not my humor, but like
humor
a lot
you
of
like?
Yeah, humor
Oh,
I
okay,
like.
That's good. It looks kind of like a mockumentary, too, kind of like The Office or Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And this is also a Netflix original film.
Yes. So
Probably got picked up at a film festival by them.
Looks like Toronto Film Festival.
Yeah.
So
It's got Gabe from The Office.
yeah, it has a few SNL characters on there.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good.
It's a pretty funny story. It looks like a movie about mascots and their lives and how they have like a award ceremony type thing going on like every year.
Yeah, it just looks kind of funny. I'm probably going to be watching this on Netflix. Hopefully, my wife can bear through it with me.
Does she not usually like comedies or does she like them?
It just depends. I mean, like your romantic comedies are something that she really likes.
Nice.
But I mean, I guess a lot of times she just doesn't find them funny. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really like far behind in my history of comedies in the
You
lineup
are.
of movies.
You
Like
just
that's
told
probably,
me you watched Step Brothers for the first time.
Yeah, that's like
Nope.
my
That's my favorite
like I've
comedy.
seen a lot of the classics from like the early 90s, but 2000 and now like I'm like really like 2000 to 2016 I'm really far behind, so
Oh my
I'm trying to
goodness.
catch up.
You seen Tropic Thunder yet?
I actually have. I saw that this year though.
That was all right.
Yeah.
That was all right.
Yeah. So I'm catching up, but yeah.
Step Brothers was
Step Brothers was good. It's funny.
oh, so great. Not enough, Dad. All right. So next we have up a interesting looking movie called The Arrival.
There are days that define your story beyond your life. Like the day they arrived.
Signs of what might be called first contact. The objects measure at least.
I'm Colonel G.T. Weber from Army Intelligence. Pack your bags. You're at the top of everyone's list when it comes to translations. Priority 1. What do they want? Where are they from? You'll be reporting to me, but you'll be working with him when you're in the show.
That's what they call in the UFO.
This movie looks like it's a what
It's got
was it?
kind of a
What's that Tom Cruise
Nolan
movie?
feel
Was
to it.
was
Christopher Nolan film. Huh?
Was that Tom Cruise movie? War
War
of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds. Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of that type of movie.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely an alien movie.
It doesn't look like a Christopher Nolan film to me.
You don't think so?
No.
I say it's got that kind of feel to it.
No, not really.
Yeah, you don't feel that? Okay. Yeah, if I don't know, War of the Worlds was almost like a horror movie, kind of.
Really? No, it was a sci-fi movie.
It was sci-fi, but it was almost on. It was on the edge of horror, as in like disaster kind of horror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Jurassic Park, like how Jurassic Park was almost a horror movie. You know?
A thriller? You mean? Are you thinking thriller?
No. Jurassic Park.
I wouldn't say Jurassic Park is anything close to being horror. Even
Yeah,
though I did say it scared me as a kid.
Yeah,
so.
it was due to the perspective. Spielberg is a master of perspective. He likes to put the viewers in the perspective of the people in the film, so everything looks really big. You know what I mean? Like you see people like who's the guy, Michael Bay. You know, his perspective is always up high, and you're always right there with whatever the giant monster is or machine or whatever that's.
Mm-hmm.
And you never have that feeling of being small and tiny and like scared of like what's happening.
Right.
But Spielberg's a master of that. So he
Okay.
did that in War of the Worlds and Jurassic Park. He was able to make the viewer feel helpless and size down to, you know, nothing compared to these giant dinosaurs or aliens or whatever. So anyway, sorry. We're talking about Arrival. But
Yeah. Yeah. So this movie, it looks like a little bit of a different concept to it.
yeah, brought by the director of Sicario and
Prisoners.
both two of.
Or Sicario is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, Prisoners is one of my favorite movies, and I like Sicario too. I just saw Sicario recently. But great. Both of those are great films. So if this is anything close to those, you know, you can expect it to be something amazing.
Yeah, we got a cast lineup of Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Forrest Whitaker. He's really Forrest Whitaker is really in demand, I guess, right now. He's also in Star Wars Rogue One.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of more parts recently.
Yeah, so this movie looks really good. I probably will see this in theaters.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna see it. Looks good. Looks just like the type of sci-fi movie I like too.
A lot of questioning.
Did you ever see Contact? That's what this kind of feels like too.
Contact. I might have.
Probably not. You would remember if you saw the movie. I think
not-
Jodie Foster was in that.
Matthew McConaughey?
Maybe it's Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it's Contact.
Yeah, I have seen Contact.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, it has a little bit of that feel to it.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking forward to this. Should be good.
All right. So what's the movie we have up next?
A Dog's Purpose.
What is the meaning of life? Are we here for a reason? Is there a point to any of this? And why does food taste so much better in the trash? This was me, and then this was me. Then I came back as this little guy. A lot of lives for one dog to live, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start at the beginning.
This one looks like it's gonna be a tearjerker, Peter.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, I am emotionally moved after just watching the trailer.
Yeah. This looks like. First of all, dogs in general are, I think, one of the greatest creations in this world.
Oh yeah, they're great. They're your best friend. They love you no matter
They
what.
will love you if you hate them.
Yeah.
Right? You can like yell at them and tell them how stupid they are and that you don't want them in the room or something, and yet they still love you.
Yeah.
It's just unconditional. It's insane. And this looks like a film that is going to be about a dog being reincarnated. I'm guessing
it looks
as a
like
dog.
it looks like a dog that has a purpose in each life that it's brought into, and after the dog dies, it comes into a life of another dog to accomplish something in that person's life.
Yeah, but it seems to remember, right?
Yes.
It's like he's remembering everything that happened in his past life as he's going forward to another dog.
Right. And then it circles back to the original owner.
That's what it looked like, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. That looks really good.
Yeah. Dennis Quaid is in it. I didn't really see the guy who. So when Dennis Quaid is younger, his younger teenage self, he looked familiar, but I don't know what I've seen him in.
Let me see if I can figure that out. Oh, they don't have Dennis Quaid's name on there. They don't want to.
Oh wow.
They don't want to give it away. It looks like Logan Miller, maybe.
Yeah, it might be him. What was he in?
Let's see. Scouts Guys in the Zombie Apocalypse, Ultimate Spider-Man, I'm in the Band. Maybe that's not him.
Maybe not. I don't know. Oh well. But yeah, it looks like a great movie.
Bryce Geyser? No, nope. I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. Sorry.
So this comes out next year, 2017.
2017. It must be coming out in like January or something.
Yeah, it must be early
release, because usually they don't
Quarter
do this
one.
much marketing. I mean, this doesn't look like it's going to be a blockbuster, so they don't usually just market this far.
Yeah, is it Disney? Who's doing it? Did it say?
Let's see. We got frequently asked questions. Amblin Entertainment, Pariah Entertainment Group.
Okay, no, I don't think so.
So this movie looks good. It's gonna make me cry. I have no doubt. I can't imagine my dog dying. I mean, it's going to happen in like the next 11 or 12 years.
Might be sooner than that.
Right.
You never know.
Right when my kids start getting emotionally attached, and then going to want another dog.
Yeah, kids are funny about dogs though. They move on very fast.
I might just tell my kids, no, you only get one dog in your life.
You only get one dog. So
when you get older and become an adult, you get to get your own dog. Because I can't handle losing 2 dogs.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Especially when your first dog's so great. What we got in real time?
So that's it for Trailer Trash?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
The movie industry is slowing down, and we've kind of hit all the movies that are coming out fourth quarter this year. So a lot of the big movies like Doctor Strange, Rogue One.
Our Christmas releases.
Yeah. We got some. I think there's some more horror movies coming out here pretty soon too.
Yeah, October we usually get a lot of great horror movies. So I'll be sure to.
They don't market the horror movies so much. They market them like
they
month before they're released, but they don't put too much into marketing.
And there's only a specific crowd of people who they try to market to because they know that.
Right.
Yeah, cutting in front of your like. I don't know. What do people watch in the fall? Grey's Anatomy? Does that still come on?
I don't even want to mention Grey's Anatomy on our podcast.
Okay. Yeah, people don't want to see a horror movie trailer come on during commercial time.
Yeah, they want to think about pumpkin spice lattes and fall colors and fall decorations.
All right, so my first story comes from Deadline.com. Sully gets standing ovations. Clint Eastwood says story was turned down 4 times. It was a very good morning for producer-director Clint Eastwood Sully at today's 10 a.m. Telluride, is that how you say that? Telluride Film Festival. The screening story, or the true story of the heroic airline pilot Chesley Sully, Sullenberger. Let me say that again. The true story of the heroic airline pilot Chesley Sully Sullenberger's 2009 crash landing into the Hudson River is having its world premiere this weekend in advance of its U.S. release next Friday. The Palm Theater, the festival's largest with 650 seats, was packed and folding chairs had to be brought in to accommodate some of those that were turned away. Eastwood and cast members Tom Hanks, Laura Linney, and Aaron Eckhart received a standing ovation when they entered to introduce the film, but you could hear a pin drop as the gripping film was playing. There was prolonged applause once the end of the credits began, and a second standing ovation when the group took the stage for the questions and answers. Eastwood said the movie was turned down 3 or 4 times before he could finally get it made.
I can see that.
That's crazy. That's similar to what we
Why is
talked.
that crazy?
Well, it's similar to what we talked about with Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
How that was turned down like 10 times before Netflix picked it up. You're starting to see more of these really great films and TV shows that people don't want to put out because they don't think people are going to watch them, and then they end up to be hits, you know?
Yeah.
And I actually love it. I think it's hilarious.
Well,
it's kind of a
this is-
smack in the face to the people who think they understand what the viewers want and they really don't.
Well, who's to say people want to see this movie? I mean, it's world premieres this.
Well, I do. I actually didn't even know Clint Eastwood was the one who was doing it until I read this article. So I actually like Clint Eastwood's movies a lot. Do you like his stuff?
I saw Gran Torino.
Yeah.
That was kind of different.
You didn't like Gran Torino? I thought it was really good.
I saw it a long time ago. I'm pretty sure it was when. I think I might have seen it over my in-laws' house. I can't remember, but it didn't really strike me as an amazing movie. I probably should watch it again.
Yeah, I really like his stuff. He does a good job.
I don't think this has a very interesting plot line. It's about a guy who crashes a plane on the East Hudson. There's a lot of controversy on whether or not he should have, but to me, it's not really why would we make a movie about this?
I don't know. Make a movie about a lot of things.
Yeah, but like to me, this doesn't
It's a
seem
good
like
story.
it doesn't really interest me all that
okay.
much.
I thought it was sounds like a pretty good story. All right, this next article I thought was really interesting. This might be the end of the McConaughey ruling over Hollywood. This comes from IndieWire.com. The Sea of Trees starring Matthew McConaughey is a theatrical bomb, and why that may not matter. Gus Van Sant is the Oscar-nominated, critically acclaimed director of Milk and Good Will Hunting, but his career also has seen a few misses, and none more so than The Sea of Trees, released to derision at the 2015 Cannes Film Festival and recently acquired by A24. The film stars Matthew McConaughey and Naomi Watts and made $2,894 in its first week at the box office. Wow. That's brutal.
Sea of Trees? What is that?
Sea of Trees. I also read that this movie got booed at Cannes.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty...
This is a pretty popular topic, too. I've seen other articles about how Matthew McConaughey is over.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think so.
Because he recently come out with a movie... What was that movie called? He just came out with a movie set, I think, during the Civil War time frame, didn't he? It's supposed to be...
Yeah, Jones, Fair State of Jones.
Fair State of Jones, and that didn't do very well either.
No. This movie looked really good to me, though, so I was I'm still going to watch it. I'll have to watch it. I guess Rachel didn't want to see it, so I'll have to watch it without her, but...
Well, I doubt it's playing anywhere after only making $3,000.
Yeah.
We're not talking $300,000. We're talking $3,000. That's awful. I haven't seen any advertisement for it.
Yeah, it was very limited release. But yeah, it's about a guy. I think he goes to commit suicide in the forest right below Mount Fiji, I think, or something. In
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I remember this, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a drama. It's not like a horror movie. There was a horror movie that came out last year called The Forest that kind of was like the same thing, but...
Oh, that's the movie I'm thinking
okay.
about. Sorry.
Yeah, this is a drama. This is like... I think he meets somebody there and they become friends or something, but yeah, apparently...
This will be on Netflix within 6 months.
You think so?
Yeah, you can watch it then.
Probably. It's
These are the type of movies that I think should come out on Netflix.
Yeah.
Don't you think so? I mean, this has no business being in the box office. This movie would get more views on Netflix than it would at the box office, for sure. Because Netflix would promote it and people are familiar with Matthew McConaughey and they'd watch it and they'd probably say, "Oh, this is a good movie." Versus little to no advertising in the box office, and people not wanting to risk the money to go see this movie.
All right, this next story comes from CNN.com. Jackie Chan to receive honorary Oscar. Jackie Chan just got kicked up a notch. The martial arts movie star is set to receive an honorary Oscar at the Academy's 8th Annual Governors Award to be held in November. The Board of Governors of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science recently voted to present the award to Chan, documentary filmmaker Frederick Wiseman, casting director Lynn Stallmaster, and film editor Ann V. Coates. Chan, who made his movie debuts at the age of 8, is being honored for his distinctive international career. Very cool. Very cool. What is the earliest movie that you can think of that you saw with Jackie Chan in it? He said, real quick, this is from Jackie Chan, "It's been 56 years since I filmed my first movie when I was 6. And I've worked in over 200 films."
What is the first movie? The youngest I've seen Jackie Chan?
No, what was your first movie you remember seeing Jackie Chan in?
I think when Rush Hour came out in like 2000, 2001, I think it was one of the first movies I saw him in.
Yeah, I'm trying to think really hard what the first one I ever saw. I feel like it was one of his martial art movies.
Really? Oh, Rush Hour came out in 98, so I think that was the first one I saw.
Yeah, maybe that's the first one I saw too. Please. Yeah, Rush Hour. I agree with that. I think Rush Hour is the first one I saw with him.
Yeah, but we're children of the 90s, so.
Yeah, that was a great movie, Rush Hour.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, Chris Tucker was just...
Did you like Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights? Are you a fan of this?
I can't really remember them. I did watch the one where he sailed around the world.
Oh, yeah. What was that? Around the World in 180 Days or something like that?
Yeah.
That was a Disney movie, right?
Yeah, I also watched his cartoon. Did you ever watch his cartoon?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I love that cartoon. Jackie Chan Adventures?
Yeah. So what do you think about him getting the Lifetime Achievement Oscar? Do you think that's warranted or what?
Yeah, I didn't realize he was in so many movies. 200, that's pretty staggering. And a lot of those, too, are foreign films.
You know he does most of his own stunts.
Yeah.
That's insane. Have you seen some of the stunts he performs?
Oh, yeah.
I was on Reddit the other day, and this
Isn't that
story,
is that how he started out, as Bruce Lee's stunt double, wasn't it? Or no?
Oh, I don't know.
Or like how he really got big was Bruce Lee's stunt double?
I don't know.
I think I heard that somewhere.
So I was on Reddit the other day when they were talking about this Lifetime Achievement thing, and some guy, I think the original poster of the article was linking all the stuff from maybe a Cinema Score or something like that, his top 10 stunts that he performed, his top 10 martial art skits or his top martial art moves, and the guy was just incredible. I mean, he was insane. Like, he was on another level. I don't know if there is an actor out there from maybe Bruce Lee. I don't know if Bruce Lee's acting skills were amazing. Who could do the
martial arts and
the acting.
Yeah.
There's no one else out there who maybe Chuck Norris, right? Is it a close second?
Yeah, I don't know.
A far away second?
I don't know. That's pretty funny.
So I think this is probably well deserved. I don't know. I don't think he's ever won an Oscar or won any.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's pretty sad, ain't it?
Well, he's not the best actor, but
yeah. But Rush Hour is a great movie.
That film was great. I mean, it was very entertaining.
Yeah,
very entertaining. The ones after that I can't really speak to because I don't really remember them, but I definitely remember Rush Hour. So you think this is pretty well deserved?
Yeah, I would say so.
I think so too.
Cool. Well, that's it, I think, for
real time.
Real time, yeah. So next up is Rental of the Week. I think I got this week.
Oh yeah, it's all you. I did last week.
It's all me. So to top off, kind of, we were talking earlier about the Arrival movie coming out.
Yeah.
And we mentioned two movies that that guy also did. The first one I really want to focus on is Prisoners.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
No, I haven't seen it. I've seen Sicario.
A lot of people haven't seen Prisoners. Prisoners was kind of one of those movies that came out. I think it came out in 2013, 2014. And it kind of just flew under the radar. Not too many people saw it. It had Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. And it also, it was like a crime drama kind of movie. And, man, seriously, one of the best movies I've seen. It's amazing.
Really?
Great acting, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to put it on my list.
Great acting.
Is it anywhere to stream or anything like that, or no?
No, it's not on any of the streaming services like Netflix, Amazon, or Hulu. It might be up on HBO Go or something. I haven't checked on that. But, yeah, definitely a great movie. Look it up. If you got to rent it, rent it. It's well worth it. If you like thrillers and dramas, and it's, especially if you like Hugh Jackman, this is one of his best movies he's ever done. Awesome movie.
Really?
Yeah, really good.
Better than Wolverine?
Acting wise, yes. Acting wise, yes. Entertainment wise, I really like how he plays Wolverine. So it's kind of hard to say, but yeah, this is probably structure and quality of the movie. Yeah, this is definitely a better movie.
Huh. Okay, I'll take a look.
Yep.
I really like Sicario, and I really like.
Yeah, Sicario was great. If you've seen Sicario, you're gonna like this movie.
Oh yes. I like this movie. I like it. All right. Hopefully our listeners go out and check that movie out. Maybe give us some feedback on Facebook or something. Let us know what they think.
Go check it out. But right before we go into our review of our movie this week, let's take this quick break and bring you a little music. You hear that? It's a heavy beat. And not only is that a heavy beat, but it's brought to you by an awesome artist. This comes from Jayemillenium. This is one of Hampton Roads' own artists. And actually one of our friends, too.
Oh, yeah. He's a very close friend.
Close friend. This is a new artist, just put out this new record. You can get this on SoundCloud, and it's for free.
A-Face.
A-Face is the name of the album. Free album. Go on SoundCloud. You can get it right now. Go to soundcloud.com/Jayemillenium. That's spelled Jaye, then Millennium. And awesome if you like hip-hop, rap, and you like kind of like that new, I don't know, what would you call it, new style?
Yeah.
It's not old school, it's the new school.
Yeah.
It's definitely nice.
Yeah, it's good. I like the listen to this album probably 2 or 3 times. It's pretty good.
He's a talented one, that Jayemillenium, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he can dance, he can sing.
He can sing, he can act, dance. He's the triple threat.
Well, easy. We don't throw that around lightly.
He's one to add to your collection. So go check out Jayemillenium.
Tell me I'm out of my mind, but you know that I really mean.
All right, and now we're getting into our review.
Hell or High Water.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry. What?
We have to bleep that.
Yes. Some of the reviewers.
Or we call it Heck or High Water.
Yeah. Heck, H or High Water. Oh, man. Have you seen that video, Shoot Christian Say?
Shoot Christian Say?
Shoot Christian Say.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's just this video of, we'll have to post it to our Facebook. It's this video of things like, things that Christians say like, man, bless you. Man, F that. Heck. Man, what the A? What the F?
That's hilarious.
That was great. Or my favorite on that always gets me again. I saw this on Facebook the other day. When talking about very close friends, they always say, we met in college where our hearts were knit together.
I've never heard anyone say that.
It's so funny. Like, it's just stuff that Christians say. Like, man, did you lose your testimony? Like,
Christianese testimony?
Yeah, the testimony.
One of the classes I'm taking at school is it is a Christian college, so there are some classes I'm taking that are religious, and one of the classes is like making of a Christian mind, and some of like the Christianese that gets thrown around in there and by students is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just funny. I'm like, man, if I wasn't a Christian, I walked in, I would like think I wouldn't understand what anyone's talking about right now.
Yeah.
But it's like the little lingo, like somebody said something about testimony and
Like, what church do you go to? The Branch, the Way,
yeah,
the River. It's just all these. Or yeah, I learned this in my accountability group.
yeah.
Learned this in my life group, my small group. Just like all these little things that just don't make any sense.
Yeah.
To other people.
It's like trademarked lingo in the Christian world.
Yeah, it's great stuff. So Hell or High Water. What's your one-word review?
Amazing.
Whoa.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love this movie. I would give this a. I might say 10 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
I
All right.
was gonna go 9, but
I like
really,
it.
I can't. I was gonna say 9, but I can't think of anything
That would deter it.
that would make it. That wouldn't keep it from making a 10. Yeah, I think it was an awesome movie.
Yeah. Okay.
It was definitely the best movie I think I've seen this year. Yeah, I'm going through
Better
my
than
mind.
10 Cloverfield Lane?
See, it's a close. We didn't review that one, but it's really close with that. We reviewed another movie that we highly spoke of, The Nice Guys, and those 3 movies, man, I'm telling you what, 3 of the best movies I've seen this year, and all three of them seem to have kind of just been really quiet releases, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, and this goes to show you, it's not always about the summer blockbusters
Or the budget.
Yeah, or the budgets of the movie, or the names that are signed on to them,
Or the directors.
Yeah, this is a great film. Has nothing to do with superheroes, nothing to do with giant monsters or explosions.
Or saving the world.
Yeah. It's just a nice, great story. 2 brothers basically go...
I don't want to get into the details of the movie.
I'm not going to get into the details. It was about 2 brothers that rob banks and about...
why they rob banks, how they rob banks.
Yeah, the reason they're doing it, why they're doing it, and it's the guy... Now, he was a ranger, right? Texas Ranger?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's 2 Texas Rangers hunting them down. One of them's Jeff Bridges. And one of the bank robbers is Chris Pine. I can't remember who the other guy was. But
Jeff Foster.
Jeff Foster. And yeah, great movie. I would definitely recommend that you go see this in the movie theaters.
Or Ben Foster. I'm sorry, Ben Foster.
Oh, Ben Foster. Okay. I recommend you go see this in the movie theaters. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wow. It's pretty good. So just for our listeners' sake, Chris Pine, Jeff Bridges, Gil Birmingham plays the Indian, or Alberto in the movie, and Ben Foster plays the other brother.
Yeah, I think the guy you said, Gil, the Native American guy, I think he was in a TV show called Longmire, I want to say. I think he played on that a couple times.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah. I've seen him in something. I want to say it's Longmire because I used to watch Longmire.
He was also in The Lone Ranger, Twilight.
Oh, Twilight. That's what he's from. Never mind. I don't think he's from Longmire. He's from Twilight. He was Jacob's dad. That's right.
Gentle Ben.
Gentle Ben. Yeah. All right. So what did you think of the movie? What's your one word?
My one word is stunning.
Stunning.
Yeah, stunning.
Stunning and amazing. 2 men talking movies.
It was I'm hesitant to give it 10 out of 10, but like, I don't know. I mean, Nice Guys, I think I gave it 8 out of 10. This is definitely better than Nice Guys. Cloverfield Lane is right there at 9, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then I would, just from my perspective, I would have to give it a 10 of a 10.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
I hate giving it the perfect score.
Yeah, I don't want to give any movie the perfect score, but I can't think of a reason not to give it to
I
this
mean,
movie.
the only slight thing I think would be maybe some of how much of like Texas is played up in this movie. I was like the only thing, like I tried to think of something bad immediately. I remember talking to you afterwards thinking, do you think they played up the Texas thing too much? And you're like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I was just like, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about either. But yeah, I would definitely go see this in theaters if you can. I mean, I think it was only playing in the Regals. I don't think AMC picked it up. Cinemark had it, but we don't go see a Cinemark per our last real time. And this yeah, so if you have the chance, please. I'm hoping it does 20 million. I doubt. I think it's done 11.8 right now, according to Box Office
Wow,
Mojo.
that's so good. So good for like a quiet release movie like this, you know.
And I guess they're considering this an indie film.
I would think so. Yeah.
It is an independent film. It did get picked up. Yeah, it's done 14.65 million to date. So that's very good actually for this movie. So I'm hoping it gets 20. So yeah, go see this movie in theaters. Hopefully it has a long run, and I think once it hits some of the cinema cafes, I think it'll go even longer there. So
Yeah, I actually kind of want to go see this movie again too,
I do
and
too.
take Rachel.
I do too.
I think she would really enjoy it.
I want to take Stephanie too.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to go see this film and don't want to be spoiled by it, please don't forget to rate and subscribe and review us. Give us a good review if you think we earned a good review, and maybe like us on Facebook. Share your thoughts with your friends. We'd love it.
Yes, yes, yes. And yeah, like he said, if you don't want this spoiled, turn it off now. I hope you would want to go see it. So do not feel bad at all if you turn the podcast off now and go watch it, because that's what we want you to do. And then you can come turn it back on and listen to what we, just actually feel about each scene and breaking down stuff and the plot and all that. So anyways, we will let you skedaddle and we will continue with our spoiler review. So goodbye, all you non-spoiler folk.
You boys know how rich they're gonna be? They don't know anything yet.
You take him to the funeral?
Like I said, they don't know anything.
You want a little advice?
No, I don't.
Go see him tomorrow.
You got any idea how much I owe Debbie in child support?
You got enough in your front pocket to fix that problem right now.
You can't spare it, you know that.
Maybe we should hit another branch.
You know, you talk like we ain't gonna get away with this.
I've never met nobody got away with anything, ever. You?
And why in the hell did you agree to do it?
'Cause you asked, little brother.
All right, and thank you, my true fans, two men talking movies fans. Can't even get our name out. Jeez, you guys are troopers, and you guys really know what the show's all about, because it's right here in the nitty gritty, getting down and dirty with our movies. So
hell or high water.
Yeah, hell or high water. Wow. So there's the protagonist of this movie is Chris Pine, right? It kind of feels like it's got a double protagonist, but I don't think it really does.
Yes.
His brother is kind of there as like the side story, but the true protagonist is Chris Pine, and Chris Pine he's the one who comes up with the plan, and the movie ends with him. He wants to rob banks, basically to pay off his mother's debt for her ranch.
Yeah,
his mom dies.
They didn't set this up. They kind of let you figure it out throughout the movie, which I love because it makes you think.
Yeah, the beginning was kind of like a slow burn setup, kind of you're putting the pieces together.
Well, it starts off with a bank robbery, but yeah. So But
I mean, slow burns and like what's going on.
Sure, yeah, okay.
There's actually two bank robberies right in the beginning, back to back.
Yeah, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, I was like,
I thought this was going to be some type of setup, but no. So apparently, with his mother being in hospice care, they needed to do a reverse mortgage.
Did they say what did she die? Was it cancer or something like that?
Not sure. I can't remember. Okay. There were so many details I was trying to grab throughout the movie. That was the least of my worries. So I guess being on hospice care and being sick, they did a reverse mortgage on the home, and apparently they couldn't pay the taxes on the property either. So,
but the bank knew all this was going to happen.
Right.
The bank did all this knowing that it would fall through and that the bank would be able to seize ownership of the house again. And
right, because with any type of reverse mortgage, the bank takes ownership of the home and sells the home once someone in reverse
so
mortgage.
Many days, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. In so many days, they automatically sell it, and it's a way for older people to get money out of their homes and live off the cash in their home if they don't want to pass the home on to their family. So, anyways, it looks like they might have taken advantage of this situation. We're paying taxes on the home and also charging interest on the taxes, and so that's why they wanted to. What Chris Pine determined, or his character determined in this movie, was to rob banks.
Yeah.
From the bank that they did the reverse
Yeah,
mortgage
from
with.
the whole
Texas Midland.
Yeah, Texas Midland. He comes up with this plot, and his brother gets released. His brother's played by Ben Foster.
Mhm.
His brother gets released from jail, and so his brother's this character who, you see his brother's had a life of crime, a life of being in and out of prison. Kind of like the guy who gets in fights everywhere he goes. And Chris Pine's character is the brother who's always been straight as an arrow, and always looked out for his family and done the right thing. He doesn't have any type of history with the law.
Mm-hmm.
And so he comes up with this idea to we got to pay this off. This is our family's ranch. We got to keep this thing. And so he comes up with this idea with his brother. He goes to his brother who just gets out of prison, and goes to him with the plan, saying we're going to rob these banks.
Yeah.
So his brother's like, all right, let's do it.
Do it. We're done.
And the movie opens up fast pace right there off the beginning, going a bank robbery.
Yeah. And it works out perfectly.
Yeah.
Both bank robberies work out perfectly. And then they stop at an IHOP. And then...
No, they rob another bank right before that.
Yeah, they rob... Yeah, they
Three
rob
in a
two,
day.
They rob two banks, right?
Yeah.
And then they stop at an IHOP. Ben Foster finishes his meal and then decides he wants to rob another bank.
Yeah, so while Chris Pine's eating, he runs across the street and robs a bank.
And looks like Chris Pine's character makes a connection with the waitress there and leaves her a huge tip. So
I kind of like how he was almost really what it was is that Chris Pine is an anti-hero, right?
Yeah.
Because he's really the villain of the movie, but you really are on his side.
Yeah.
Based on what is going on, you know what I mean? Because really, the banks are really the crooks here.
Right, and they set that up by what happened. I guess they talk a little bit, not talk, but you assume with all the natures of the banks being in 2008, getting bailed out, and how the banks screw a lot of people over by locking people into mortgages they shouldn't be, and then still getting bailed out by the federal government and the taxpayers, the people that they hurt, and then devaluing all these property values and taking real wealth away from people. So anyways, this is all, to me, this was all going in the back of my head, like this is what they were trying to convey, a problem that we have that's a very real problem now. They're conveying it in this movie and showing how two brothers are trying to get back at the banks. And so a lot of the other characters, or not the, what would you say, some of the side characters in the movie, the people they interact with throughout the movie, kind of confirm this. Like
the hate for the banks.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely, yeah. Even their, I think their lawyer, right, that's working with them, helping them get stuff situated,
right,
knows what they're doing, and he's even gives them pointers towards the end, like, you guys really want to stick it to them. You need to invest.
They need to hold your trust.
Yeah, hold your trust for your bank. That'll really, like, he knows kind of what they're doing the whole time, robbing these banks, and he's giving them
so
pointers.
apparently this small time bank, because it's such a small time bank, has like a little bit of a monopoly in, I guess, Midland, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And they can charge whatever rates they want because this is the only bank that they can go to, and they don't have to make them any interest on their money or anything like that because this is the only bank they can go to because Bank of America isn't there or Wells Fargo isn't there because they just don't care.
Yeah, and also I've never been to Texas, but from what I've seen and what I've heard from people is like the big booming industry there is oil and ranching, whether you got cattle or some kind of livestock or something. And mainly, you see these oil towns, and I've heard a couple stories on NPR of these oil towns. When the oil dries up, these towns become like ghost towns.
Yeah, same thing in South Dakota, North Dakota.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they might hit some more oil maybe again somewhere in this town or somewhere else nearby, and it just becomes a hot spot. People are making tons of money, prices of things are going up, and and it also fluctuates, I think, with the price per barrel that the United States government determines, correct?
Yeah. There's a lot of things going on
Yeah.
in the oil industry, and whether it's natural gas This has been a huge problem in South Dakota, North Dakota with natural gas, and also Oklahoma very soon is getting ready to have an oil bust here. So yeah, it kind of paints that life of people are in debt. People can't afford lifestyle. They can't afford, and the banks are kind of taking advantage of it by charging zero interest on accounts and things like that. So, anyways, it's the movie talks a lot about what's currently going on in our world and shows these how these characters like to get back at that.
Yeah, and I like also you pointed out that these side characters and the people that they're coming across during the story have this hate also for the banks, right?
Yeah.
But also they also have a very strong aspect of what is right and what is wrong. They have a sense of self justice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they come like, for instance, Jeff Bridges' character, like the first bank that's robbed, Jeff Bridges pulls up with his partner, and this truck's driving by, and it's like, "Why are you guys closing the bank down?" He's like, "Oh, there was a bank robbery." And then the character makes some comment of, "Oh well, they better hope they don't run into me, or else I'm going to put
he said something about dressing them up or something. Field dressing,
shooting them, yeah.
Field dressing them put them on my truck or something.
Yeah,
I was hoping with your hunting background you'd be able to explain.
I don't remember what the full comment was. Was it something about field dressing?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Field dressing is when you shoot an animal. You're required by law to field dress. Is you basically dissect the animal there. You cut open the stomach cavity and empty all the vital organs out in the field or woods or whatever where you kill them. So
why?
I don't know. That's just something that they want you to do. So
is it leave the guts behind for other animals to eat it?
Maybe they might have to do something with it. Yeah, and they probably don't want people dumping it anywhere else. Like if you go home and do it, and then you dump the guts like
in a garbage can.
Yeah, or something. So I'm sure there's reasons for it. I don't know, but yeah. So that's what he meant. He was gonna gut them and put them up in his truck or something. So yeah, it's kind of those good old boys. Like everyone's carrying guns. Texas.
It's a very, and I saw this described. I forget where it was, or I'd give the source. A neo-Western.
Yeah.
And that's.
I think that's a great. Yeah,
great. That's exactly what this is. I mean, it's just. I like the Clint Eastwood films. I like the John Wayne films. I'm kind of a sucker for westerns, and this movie just like fulfilled all that. I guess that's why I gave it a 10 of 10 because this is the type of movie I like.
Yeah.
It held the tension throughout the movie was held.
Yep.
To me. Yeah.
Yeah, and so speaking of Jeff Bridges, his character is introduced, and he's this bigoted, prejudiced
Texas Ranger.
Yeah, good old boy about to retire.
Kind of like old school.
Yeah,
yeah.
About to put up the old badge and retire, and talking trash to his partner the entire time.
Yeah, and it was kind of no one wanted to take his case. No one wanted to take this case, and he's like, "Well, I'll do it."
Yeah, he kind of wanted to go out with a bang and like, "Oh, I'll bring these guys."
I'll go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, and yeah, I just love Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, I tried to think back on some of the other movies he's done, and I couldn't think.
The Big Lebowski. Tron.
Yeah, he was in Tron. Yeah, I remember that.
Not Taken. There was something where he kidnapped somebody.
I couldn't remember if he...
Captive, maybe? No, not Captive. I don't know.
He was in Iron Man. Oh, he played the villain in Iron Man, right?
In the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True Grit.
Oh, yeah, True Grit. Great Western.
Oh, he's in the Kingsman? He's coming... Oh, man, he's coming out in the Kingsman. Oh, he played in The Little Prince. He was the aviator.
Oh, he did one of the voices?
Yeah, he was one of the main characters.
That's cool.
He's on a roll. Yeah, so I really liked his take on this character. Like, he did a really good job of, like, this character, Jeff Bridges' character, what's his name? Marcus Hamilton, I guess is the guy's name. He did a really good job of just this embodiment of a Texas old school bigoted ranger, and it was so believable. Like, it was great.
Yeah. His partner's Native American, and he's constantly joking his partner the entire time.
Right.
Making remarks about him being a Native American and stuff. And just their whole relationship of back and forth is great. Watching that, And I think he feels what's the guy who plays his partner? What's his name?
Gil
What's
or
his
Birmingham or something like that.
Yeah, well, what's the character's name that he plays?
Alberto.
So Alberto kind of feels. It looks like he feels like he's underappreciated kind of the whole time.
Underappreciated. He understands that it's
his way.
Yeah, he understands that. This is how he's going to be no matter what I say. So I'm just going to take everything.
Yeah, but I think really, Marcus, who is Jeff Bridges' character, I think he really respects his partner a lot. And he doesn't, but he doesn't really show that. You know what I mean? He kind of keeps that.
I think his way of showing it is being bigoted.
Yeah, because there's a point where they're watching a movie or watching TV in their motel, and Marcus is trying to watch a football game, but the other guy Gil wants to watch what?
He wants to watch some televangelist.
Yeah, and he's like they're bickering, and he's like, "Well, why don't you just go to your own room?" And so. It's kind of this moment of like he's annoyed by him and Jeff Bridges is kind of like I think what it is he likes to be in his company. Is that kind of what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did kind of like what he said about the televangelist.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I remember appreciating.
He's like, that guy ain't going to heaven.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeff Bridges' character's dedication to the case.
Mm-hmm.
Just felt very old school. Like, we're going to catch him.
And he's like picking stuff out that only like an old timer who knows a lot about detective work would be able to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. And he constantly, you see him too, he keeps talking about.
He figured it out at the beginning. He knew they were just robbing Midland, Texas banks.
Yeah,
and everyone's like,
and
no.
He also, I don't think he wanted to retire, you know what I mean? He was hesitant to put up his badge and quit because he kept making a reference to, I got to get used to sitting out on the front porch and doing nothing. And you see him constantly, like he sleeps outside, and they go to one motel and he's sitting out there watching the bank all night, and he just sits in a chair and falls asleep.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you see his character have this moment of like, I'm at this age and I'm about to quit what I love doing, and I really don't want to do that. And he's coming to terms with like, it's time for me to pass that down to someone else, you know?
Right. No, yeah, I totally agree. So what do you think of the whole scheme that these brothers had? To me, it was very believable. Like there was nothing that was just, nothing about the robberies, nothing about the way they transacted the money. Nothing was unbelievable to me.
Yeah, the way they transacted the money was, I thought, genius. So they came up with the plan. So also, did you notice when they were robbing the banks, they were only taking $20 bills and below to make sure they didn't get any marked bills?
Yes.
Which I thought was really good.
Which they knew they had to rob a certain amount of banks based on the
because
averages
really,
of
and
each
also the drawers,
drawer.
you're only getting a couple thousand out of those.
Yeah.
You know,
depending on how many drawers there are. So there might be $3,000 in low marked bills or low unmarked bills in each drawer, and if you can get 3 drawers, that's $6-7 or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So what they would do is they would get this money from these banks in Texas, and then they would drive over to the next state in Oklahoma,
right,
and go to
a Cherokee casino.
Yeah, what is
or
considered
Comanche casino.
Yeah, it's considered an Indian casino, and so what I actually I didn't know this is that a friend of mine told me this, but regular casinos cash out. They do like a money thing once a day, right? Indian casinos don't do that until the end of the week. So, like, any money they receive, like, if you go to, like, Las Vegas, or if you go to, what is the one near us in New Jersey?
Atlantic City?
Atlantic City. All those casinos, whatever money they're making, at the end of the night, they're putting in the bank, right? They're depositing a certain amount into the bank. Indian casinos don't do that. They will hold the money for whatever reason. I guess because they're, not really associated with anyone. They're privately owned in these, random places. And they'll deposit their money at the end of the week. So maybe, I don't know if that had something to do with them going to one of those specific casinos and cashing their money in and exchanging it, how they did the whole bill exchange where they would go get chips.
Yeah.
Go out and...
But they only stay there for a few hours.
Yeah, they only stay there for a few hours.
So even if they did do it at the end of the day, then I think...
But no, I think it was safe because, say they robbed all the banks they needed to in that, it was only like 2 or 3 days.
It wouldn't get registered.
It wouldn't even... Say if they had any marked bills on accident, they wouldn't even show up until... the
end of the
following
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they would never like they would be long gone before.
Oh, so they would get caught, but they would already have everything set in motion.
Oh yeah, they would have been long gone too, so it would have been too late. Yeah,
would have been long gone. They would have maybe served jail time, but the money would already be in the trust, and it would be untouchable at that point, I guess.
Their plan would have already been successful. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. That's really interesting. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not a he plays cards sometimes, so he's been to a couple casinos. I guess that's why he knew that. I didn't know that.
Huh. I didn't know that either. So everything about the bank robberies, like it being such a small time bank, and how some of the banks weren't videoed because they never really had any problems. The amount of open carry people that go to the bank was very believable.
Just that area too, wasn't there?
Yeah, everyone open carried.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then their getaways were always, I mean, on point. They would take side streets and everything like that. And they were patient. They made one mistake and it almost cost them.
I felt like too, though, the whole time, every bank they did, it was kind of sloppy. They never really had it down to a perfect science because his brother was kind of the wild card, the one Ben
he
Foster.
Would hit people and
yeah, he kind of always crossed the line, and constantly Chris Pine's character was constantly saying, you know, we're not here to hurt people, we're just here to get the money from the bank. Even when they were robbing, you know, they'd be telling the people like, hey, sorry, sir, you know, we don't want your money, we're just trying to get money from the bank, and
yeah,
you know,
yeah. So the whole casino thing, and then it was really up in the air, kind of like what is it called? In a story or in a film where it comes to that high moment or
the climax or the
the climax,
okay.
the climax when they rob that last bank.
Yeah,
it's all building to this, and like, are the Rangers a step ahead of them? Or are they just going to walk right into their trap? What's going on? And then all the characters are putting different things together at different times, and so they all end up heading to the same bank.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know any of that was going to happen. I didn't know they were going to change their plan because these seemed like they already had their plan. But they had something mess up with one of the branches being closed. So they just decide to go on a payday to a larger bank where things kind of like really take off. And I was pretty shocked at some of the things that happened in that bank with the security guard and the guy who wanted to be the hero in the bank. And then where it felt like a Western the most was when they come out of that bank and there's guys behind their pickup trucks
shooting.
Yeah. I mean, that felt like a Western more than anything else, because when the guys come out of the saloon, when they come out of the bank they're robbing, they have to get on their horses while everyone's shooting at them.
Oh yeah,
and they run away. Same thing with here, except they're all in pickup trucks.
Yeah.
To me, that was that was one of the greatest scenes to me in the movie, for sure.
And I love how even after they left the town for that last bank, like the trucks followed them for a good amount of miles down the road. You know what I mean? You just see this.
Yeah, it's like they would in a Western.
Yeah, you just see this line of trucks chasing them, and you know they eventually pull around and shoot at them and they leave. But and then we get to that moment where they pull up. They pull up their cars and they're switching cars so they can split up and go different ways. And Ben Foster's character, the brother who's the wild card, he comes up he says, you know, take the truck and you go that way, I'm going to go this way. And, you know, you take the money, I'm going to go this way. And he's like, well, you know, where am I going to see you again? He's like, I'll be all right. You know, and they kind of come to this understanding. And I want to go back a little ways too from this moment is you see constantly throughout the movie, you see this relationship with these brothers that they're constantly watching out for each other, right? There's a scene where they come up to a gas station and Ben Foster gets in this argument with some punk kid and Chris Pine comes around the corner and beats up, you know, messes the kid up, right? Steps in to help his brother.
Right.
The next time we see Chris Pine, they're at the casino and a prostitute comes up and is kind of flirting with Chris Pine, and Ben Foster shows up and it's like, oh, what do you think, you're going to take my brother up there and then call some of your goons up so you can rob us because we got all these chips? He's like, get out of here. And they're constantly like, you know, washing each other's backs and got this up. And so at the moment at the end when they're at this crossroad and they're about to split up from each other, Ben Foster makes this choice to basically take the fall for his brother, right? He gives his brother a way out. He says, you go that way, I'm going to go this way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like the ultimate sacrifice of this is like the last time I'm going to get your back. And so Ben Foster goes and he intercepts the Rangers, who is Gil, whatever his name is we talked about, and Jeff Bridges. And he intercepts them, and they go down this old dirt road. It ends up into this big car chase, and they get to this
hill,
this mountainside, hillside, or whatever. And they're calling in the town backup and all, and they got him cornered. And he runs up, and he's shooting back. So at the same time, Chris Pine's character is pulling up and going the other way, and he pulls up to this road stop, and the cops are questioning people, who could be related to the robbery. And so at this moment, I think we're both sitting on the edge of our seats. There's a lot of
I think at one point where I like not elbowed you, but like I like sat back in shock.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't believe that happened. And so previously in the movie when they were at one of the casinos, he was, I guess, talking down to an Indian. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And
Ben Foster was the wild card brother. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best parts of the movie is when he's taking on this car chase alone. And previously in the movie, he was at this casino and he was talking down to a Comanche.
Yeah.
And he didn't know he was Comanche. He was talking down to an Indian, and the Indian stands up and says, "I'm Comanche." He's like, "Well, what does that mean?" He said, "Well, that means everyone's my enemy. We're Lord of the Plains." And
he's like, "Well, that makes me Comanche too."
Yeah, and he kind of just walks away. And
he's like, "Everyone's my enemy," and then he walks away.
Yeah, and he walks away, and then when he gets to the top of the hill, he lets his truck roll down on the other trucks, blocking their way up the hill, and then he gets up and starts shooting his rifle. And at that point, he shoots Jeff Bridges' partner, Gil, right in the head.
Supposed to take over, basically get Jeff Bridges'
job,
Marcus's, his desk and everything, and take over his position.
Yeah, and that's when Jeff's character, you see the love for his partner at that point come out, and just kind of loses it. And then as Ben Foster's shooting down, he kind of has this moment, and all the while Jeff Bridges is sneaking up behind him on a different ridge because he has a local take him up on a different ridge to get a better shot. And Ben Foster says, "Comanche, Lord of the Plains." And then
he's just sitting there relaxing, just looking out.
And at that moment, he's on top of the world. And then he looks behind him, and Jeff Bridges gets him right between the eyes.
Yeah, gets him right in his sights, and
how he like leans over on his gun as he dies.
Yeah,
was
just sitting up. Yeah.
So that was a great shot. No pun intended. To me, that was like one of the best parts of the film for me, because a character who is wild and reckless gets the ultimate justice, which is his life. And anyways, all that comes to fruition at that moment. And all the while, his brother is trying to get away, comes across the road stop.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah, yeah. So his brother pulls up to the. What?
You just went, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I just thought that was funny. Go ahead.
So yeah, his brother pulls up to the roadblock, and he pulls up and he's coming up, and the cops get up to his car and say license and registration. And at that moment, what you kind of saw earlier too, when they were being chased by the cars, is that he gets shot by one of the people chasing him in the trucks, and so he's trying to put something over the bleeding in the hole to keep himself from losing too much blood or passing out and dying, and so he's trying to hide that also while giving his license and registration to this police officer. And so there's a moment where the cop gets his license and goes back and talks. You see him whispering to one of the other cops, and they're kind of circling the car, and you're like, that's it. It's over. They got him. And he walks up and leans in and says, all right, have a good day, and hands him his license, and he just drives off. And it's just like this moment of like
relief.
Oh man, yeah, it was so like
I was tense.
man. Yeah,
I
it was
was
crazy.
so tense. I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah,
because I wanted him to succeed for his family,
Mhm.
and he said something very interesting earlier in the movie that I thought was interesting. He talked about poverty like it was a disease.
Yeah.
And I think poverty is something that
I think that's later. I think that's at the end. He talks about that.
Okay. Because I wanted him to succeed for his kids, and he was being screwed over by the system, and the bank knew that there was oil found on their ranch.
I thought they didn't know.
They did.
Oh, they did.
And that's why they were doing all this.
I thought that was like the secret was that the banks didn't know, and that's why they were kind of.
No, the banks did know, and that's why they wanted to foreclose as soon as
Okay.
possible.
Okay.
And that's why when he gets out of the situation and goes to the bank,
Mind
the
you,
banker,
the last day that they were going to put it on foreclosure, he gets there like the day of, right?
the day before.
Yeah.
Because they were going to close on Friday, he got there the end of the day, Thursday.
Right.
And he submitted the payment.
Yeah, got the paperwork and everything.
And the banker seemed reluctant, didn't want to do it.
Trying
He's
to
like,
make excuses.
These things kind of take a week to process.
He's
We'll
like,
hit it
I'll
on
wait
Monday.
here while you do it.
He's like, no, you can do it now. You can send the
Yeah,
fax.
they turned the deed back over to him, right?
He's like, well, I'll send the fax when we're done here. He's like, no, you can do it now. I'll watch you.
Yeah.
And as he's walking away, he's like, by the way, do you guys do trust
funds? Yeah.
Trust funds? Do you guys manage trust funds? And the banker's like, well, yes, we do. And so, like, it was.
So what a great cover your butt. Like you steal from the bank who you owe money to, you pay them back with their own money to get your home back, and then you put the trust of your home back into that bank.
And all the money that land produces goes into that trust. So the bank is managing that trust has those assets under management, and knows that land is going to produce millions upon millions of dollars for a small midtown bank. So a small bank like that getting let's just say that makes them $10 million over the next 5 years or something like that. To a small Midland bank like that, that's huge because that's $10 million that they can just loan out and make money off of. It's always why I've always wanted to start a bank. It's the biggest scheme in history. We'll say that for 2 Men Talking Economics. We've got a lot of material for 2 Men Talking Economics coming up. So when they make that was kind of their fail-proof plan, was that even if the bank did think that they robbed it, why would they want to go after $45,000 when they already have access to millions upon millions of dollars? They don't really care.
Yeah.
Because all that money's insured.
Yep.
So it was great. It was really great. And I wanted to say this thing about the poverty thing, about it being a disease passed down to generation. I thought that was very interesting he put it that way because I think poverty is something that's often misunderstood in the United States. When someone is poor, a lot of times we think that they're lazy, their culture, there's something wrong with the culture, there's something morally wrong with that person. But in all actuality, poverty sometimes comes from the situations you're put in that you don't have a lot of control over. Someone could be making or could be working 2 different jobs or 3 different jobs, but they didn't have the connections that you had or the access to education like you had or whatever the circumstance is. So I think poverty is something that's often misunderstood from a lot of people's perspective. And I think this movie shed a little bit of light about how people who are poor or lower income don't always want to be lower income. They want to have a job, just like everyone else, that takes care of their family where they have to worry about bills.
I know, because it's almost like, say you're in a family, you don't have any money, so you can't afford a car. Well, you need a car to leave the area to go get a job, and you can't get a job, and you need a job to get a car. It's like this never-ending cycle of like.
Because every interview, one of the first questions they ask, do you have a vehicle? If you say no, you're not getting hired.
Is that one of the first questions asked?
Yeah, they always talk. Do you have?
Way.
When
of
I was at
transportation?
Chick-fil-A, do you have a means of transportation?
Oh, okay.
If you say no, why would they want to hire you?
Yeah, that's true. Because you're not reliable. Yeah.
It's anyways. Poverty, I think, is misunderstood.
A lot of jobs too check your want to know about your credit score and stuff. So if you're already in debt or something, they don't want to hire you. But you're like, because then you're the possibility that you would rob from them to pay off
or steal from them, or be unethical, or increases, which is.
So, but then it's like, how am I supposed to pay off my debt if I don't have a job?
Yeah,
you know,
you can kind of get trapped in a cycle.
Yeah.
So there's
some of the terrible things about capitalism, but
it's called crony. A lot of people call it crony capitalism, which is unjust, unfair capitalism.
Yeah.
People like to refer sometimes to consumers as a living revenue stream for companies. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of things good about capitalism, and there's a lot of things about capitalism that's tough.
Yeah, kind of the people on the bottom just stay on the bottom.
Yeah. There's no easy answers. It takes I would think it would take probably of America's 100 brightest minds to kind of help figure something out. Unfortunately, those 100 brightest minds aren't in Congress. But it's not a higher minimum wage. That's not the answer. There's other answers involved that more complex, harder to obtain issues.
I think
this movie tries to bring to light. And almost the way to get out of it is to fix the system like these guys did, stealing, which is not
get back at the system.
Yeah, get back at the system, which is not the answer.
Yeah, it's not the answer, but it was
so
enjoyable to watch.
Well, and Jeff Bridges makes his point at the end of the movie. He said 4 people died. Do those 4 people have to die so you can have this?
Yeah.
And that was a great. I mean.
Oh, and let's talk about that too. That ending, which I really think is probably what gives it the 10 out of 10, is like an amazing ending. You see Chris Pine's character. Oh, it's like 5 months later or something, right?
Yeah,
it's a little bit of time.
He's done retired and everything.
Yeah, so Jeff Bridges is retired. His character Marcus is retired, and he goes out to he figures out where the brother of the guys that they shot. Because, he was like, he couldn't have done all this by himself. He was an idiot, like there had to be someone else involved.
Right.
And so he goes out to see Chris Pine, who's his brother, and goes out and they're talking. And, Jeff Bridges basically tells him, Marcus says, I know you did it. I can't prove it. I can't do anything. And, but I know you did it. And they have this huge conversation. And
when he walks up, he's like, I'm the guy who killed your brother.
Yeah.
Chris Pine's like, I know.
And Chris Pine has that
gun. I also know you're retired and you have a gun.
He's like, I also know you're retired and that you're trespassing and I have a right to shoot you right now.
He's like, well, go ahead. Blow me away.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, no.
It's so good. Yeah. And the end, man, when they're leaving and he's like, I just want you to know that, didn't he say something to him like, this is going to haunt you till you die, just like it's haunting me.
Okay, so I thought it was really good that Jeff Bridges brought up the point, like, none of that money was yours. It was not yours for the taking. Their lives weren't yours for the taking for your family to get out of poverty. It's not worth 4 lives for your family to get out of poverty. He's right. And he said, something that this is always going to haunt me. And Chris Pine said, well, knowing is always going to haunt me. And Chris says, by the way, this isn't where I live. I rent a house downtown, so maybe.
Yeah, it's like if
you're looking for some peace of mind, you can come pay me a visit.
Yeah, if you want some peace of mind.
And maybe I can give you some peace of mind, or maybe you can give me some peace of mind.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And then he gets in his F-150 or whatever it is, his Chevy, and he starts driving away across the field, and the camera, it's of course at a sunset, and the camera pans down to this awesome shot of looks like the wheat fields.
Yeah.
Against the sunset, which is like a perfect Western ending to a movie.
Can you see? I can't remember. Can you see the oil diggers too right there?
Yeah. I mean, it was like, because almost every Western film, that's like the last shot.
The guy riding off to the sunset.
Riding off in the sunset, or the hero riding off in the sunset, which looks like to be Jeff Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And and it pans down to either wheat fields or grass fields or something like that. I just thought it was really a nice homage that they paid to Western films.
Yeah. This is great. It ended on a perfect ending, I thought. I don't think it could have got any better than that for the
Because,
ending.
I mean, you don't know what those characters did.
Yeah.
Did Jeff Bridges pay him a visit? I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Who dies? Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe they became great friends.
I doubt that.
But yeah, great movie. 10 out of 10. Do you think this is up for any kind of award?
I think this should be up for a Best Picture award.
Yeah.
Maybe Best Screenplay. I don't know if either one of these guys deserve an Oscar.
Best supporting actor, I would say Jeff Bridges would get that probably.
Really? You think he's a supporting actor here? You think Chris Pine was the major character?
I think Chris Pine was the major, yeah.
Dude, Bridges' character was just like phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was great. It was a little, this is kind of outside the movie. It was a little irritating. Not irritating. Yeah, maybe irritating. When some of the jokes, the racist jokes were made in the movie. There's a laughter at a scoffing laughter, like, huh, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
He's clearly being a racist. Or a laughter at the joke.
Yeah.
And there was a clear distinction within the theater. Those who were scoffing at, like, this guy's an idiot, shouldn't be saying stuff like that, to the people laughing at the joke.
Because, like, oh, good one. I like it.
Oh, that's a good one. He really got him on that Mexican zinger.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, I was like, old man, old lady, shut up.
Yeah.
Please. So anyways, it's just a difference in generations. Doesn't make it right, but I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah. Yep. So remember to go to iTunes, give us a rating and review. Go ahead and hit subscribe. And remember that ratings and reviews are the only way that we can show up in the charts. And showing up in the charts gets us new listeners, which in turn will get us more ratings and reviews. And we'll just keep on growing and growing and growing and bring you more episodes.
Before you know it, we'll be on...
we'll have T-shirts.
Yeah, T-shirts.
We'll have
watches.
Yeah.
Headbands.
Oh, yeah. It's going to get good.
Piercings. Tattoos.
Yeah. Maybe we'll be able to go to film festivals and review stuff.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it all starts with you guys.
It all starts here, and it starts with your help of a free, capital FREE, free review and rating. That's all you got to do. Just go there and do that.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking.
We love you.
Yep. It's as simple as saying this thank you. So thanks. And have a good week.
Peace out.
That's the end of episode...
Did I peace out too soon?
Yeah. And that's the end of episode 9 of Two Men Talking Movies.
Peace out.
Goodbye.
Two Men Talking Movies.
Also means...
Yeah. Then you say yeah, because that means yes. And
yeah. Beer.
Beer 9. 9 is slug.
Bayern Munich. Football.
Beer garden.
Beer garden.
Oktoberfest.
Wiener.
Sausage.
Wiener.
Bratwurst.
Vampires. I don't know what else is German.
Automobil.
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen. VW.